Welcome back, everyone. Lots of sunshine out there. Not a whole lot of warm weather to be found, though. Most of us are waking up to temperatures still into the 30s at this point, so if you're headed out early to church or to brunch, make sure you have that jacket. Maybe you want to go hiking for today. It is certainly looking nice out there with all the sunshine. Of course, all the fall colors are about at their peak now, maybe a little bit after peak, but still beautiful to go out and see. Northwest Arkansas, of course, you got Devil's Den and Beaver Lake to go check out. Excellent spots for today. Just make sure you grab that jacket or sweater for earlier on in the morning hours because those temperatures will be a bit on the cooler side. Most of us still in the 30s at this point. As you move on to the later part of the morning, though, it will become more mild over time with those southerly winds picking on up, helping keep us a bit warmer. We're talking low to mid 60s coming your way as we move on into the afternoon. And for the River Valley, we're talking about your temperatures starting off a little bit on the chilly side as well. Most of you in the 30s and 40s by your 10 o'clock hour. Then by the afternoon, we're going to be seeing highs into the mid 60s and keeping it pretty breezy as well. Let's talk about what's going on right here at home, though, as we get you ready for what's going to be impacting us, not so much today, but for tomorrow. That's when we're going to see the bulk of that snowfall to begin to move on in, especially during the afternoon and evening hours. For Northwest Arkansas, we're going to go ahead and give that a 3 on our scale. We're mostly talking about snow coming on down here. It will be cold enough that we shouldn't be talking about any kind of sleet or freezing rain, thankfully, just snow. 1 to 2 inches is what I'm thinking we're going to most likely see. That will lead to some very slick roads, and that will likely continue on since the temperatures will stay cool into your Monday morning commute. So you may have to be watching out for that as you get back to work on Monday. Across the River Valley, you're going to be starting off as more of a sleet and then kind of transition over to more of a snow mix. Upwards of an inch possible for you. Certainly still looking at slick roads, but I think your accumulations will be a little less than we're seeing for Northwest Arkansas. And across the Ouachitas, generally looking at sleet and snow, kind of that mix is for you as well, up to a possible inch. And you're going to have to watch out for those slick roads possible too, and those once again could continue on into Monday morning. John. All right, your forecast in a nutshell. Enjoy the mild weather while it lasts. It's not going to be around for that much longer, so take advantage of today. It's going to be sunny, and eventually, once we're past the morning hours, we'll actually get somewhat warm into the mid 60s for you in the River Valley. That much warmer into your Monday. That's by far the warmest day this week and the warmest day we're going to see for quite some time. Why? Well, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Look at having those highs. Boy, they drop on down. We're only expecting to see those highs in the low to mid 40s for the River Valley. Overnight lows into the 30s and mid to upper 20s. You get the idea. It's going to be very cold. Plus, as an added little bonus, into Saturday, we could be seeing some moisture move on in, and that might give us our first shot of some potential winter precip. Still a lot of debate from the models on exactly what kind of precip that could be, whether it be sleet, freezing rain, snow, so we still have some time to figure things out, but definitely want to watch to see how things play out as we push on into next weekend. Could be an interesting forecast for you. For Northwest Arkansas, you're going to be staying very nice for today as well. Lots of sunshine for today, and encore performance for tomorrow, a little bit warmer still, back into the low 70s, and then we pretty much drop off a cliff as far as the temperatures are concerned. Back down to the 40s, the 30s, overnight lows down into the mid to low 20s for Thursday and Friday. And then we're also looking at that 30% chance of mixed precipitation. That means some possible winter precip moving on into your Saturday. Well, hello there, Mitch. We were talking about snow about a week ago. Now today is going to be all about the rain for the Hogs. You notice here from our War Garrison Building camera in Fort Smith, it's gray, it's dreary, and this same picture is playing out across pretty much all of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. Take a look at the radar right now. You notice that moisture just continues to stream on in to both Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. It's very, very soggy, very wet. One of the big things we've been talking about for this afternoon you're going to have to watch out for, though, will be the possible lightning delays. What that means is, at least the new rules from the SEC, is that there is lightning. It strikes within 8 miles of Razorback Stadium, which is roughly up to about Springdale and down to about the West Fork area. If there happens to be a strike of lightning, then the game has to be delayed for at least 30 minutes until that lightning moves on out. Another lightning strike is detected within this same range, well, then that clock starts over again. 30 minutes until lightning moves out of the area. That very may well be an issue here into this afternoon as these storms continue to push on through the area and bring us that chance for that lightning across Northwest Arkansas. Now, you definitely see it's going to be soggy. It's going to be mess. It's just going to be one of those dreary, awful, terrible days. So I certainly hope you have the rain gear handy. You'll certainly need it through this afternoon. Now, into 3, 4, 5 o'clock toward the tail end of the game, the rain will begin to lessen up to some degree. We won't see it nearly as much of a super soaker scenario setting up for us, and then eventually tapering off closer to 6 and 7 o'clock. So by the time you're ready to get on out and hopefully celebrate a nice Hogs win, things should be a little bit on the drier side. But until then, you better find your best way you can to stay dry. Welcome back, everyone. You know, on a nice cold morning like this, it might be nice to cuddle up with a nice hot cup of coffee or hot chocolate, whatever suits your fancy, especially if you're in northwest Arkansas where we're seeing the coldest of the temperatures for this morning. Fayetteville, you're waking up to 28 degrees. Other spots across the area closer to freezing. So regardless of where you are, it's going to be cold, and certainly a lot colder than we saw for yesterday. Upper 30s coming your way by your 7, 8 o'clock hour. Not quite as cold as we go on into the later part of the morning and early afternoon. You notice those temperatures much closer to the 60-degree mark, all helped out by the winds that are going to be kicking up throughout the day. Mid-60s coming your way by the afternoon hours, and the winds will calm on down by the evening hours once the sun begins to go on down. For the River Valley, pretty chilly for you as well. By your 7, 8 o'clock hours, we're talking low 40s coming your way, so still on the cool side, just not quite as cold. And then by the afternoon, mostly sunny skies with highs in the mid to upper 60s. John.
Brad, the snow is on the way.
Yes, it is, though. If you're really crossing your fingers and saying, man, I really want to make a snowball later today, I think you'll be disappointed. We're not going to see the snow quite that soon. It's still on its way. It's just going to take a little bit longer to get to us. Right now on your satellite and radar, we do have a lot of cloud cover out there. It's a chilly start to the morning. A lot of us waking up to 20s across the board, pretty much everyone below freezing. Now you notice we kind of pull things on out. There is some snow near us. This is mostly across parts of central Kansas and eventually moving on to Missouri, but this batch will be well off to our north. Really not going to affect us all that much. However, our snow, that's still kind of brewing out here toward parts of the Rockies, and over the next 24 hours, that will begin to move on in and provide us that chance for snow to stack up here, especially into Sunday afternoon. Temperature-wise, though, very chilly as you walk on out. Make sure you have the heavy jacket, as pretty much everyone is seeing those temperatures below freezing, and that's especially true as you go on out to the Razorbacks game for later on today. It's going to be a very, very cold one. Even without the talk of winter weather in the mix, we'll stay dry, but it'll be very, very chilly. By your 3 o'clock hour, maybe you're doing some tailgating there, it's only going to be 35 degrees. Then as we push on a little bit closer to game time, which kicks off at 7 o'clock, just 30 degrees, and temperatures are only going down from there, back down into the mid-20s by later on this evening. So have that heavy winter jacket. You're certainly going to need it for game time. Time now for this morning's Sunday Science, and we're once again talking about how drones could potentially end up saving lives. And this latest one may one day save your life if you're having a heart attack or other medical emergency. Now check this out. This ambulance drone can be equipped with things such as a defibrillator and race off to wherever it needs to go for an emergency at a 60-mile-per-hour pace. You can see it flying there on your screen. It also flies autonomously, finding where it needs to go based on its own GPS system. The drone also has a built-in audio and video connection to allow emergency responders to observe and respond, helping make sure the defibrillator has been set up properly for use on the heart attack victim. Now, this isn't complete science fiction. You saw it there in action. The inventors of this drone say they could be seeing this mass-produced within about 5 years.
It's amazing that, again, we were talking about the lifeguard situation last week with the drones, how these little things that you see at the mall are now life-saving devices.
You know, everyone thought about these things as, getting real cool video, or they've been used for surveillance by governments and stuff, but the idea of using it to save someone's life, I think is really revolutionary and certainly something that can make a huge difference.
Definitely. Brad, thank you for sharing.
You bet.